So far we've talked about Agentforce and standard operating procedures and how we're going to marry those two things up together in a way that kind of makes sense to prove out the value of Agentforce. Now, Agentforce is a series of tools that allows you to build agents. Agents are a new concept in the world of technology. That's the term that everybody's using. But the idea behind agents is the same as in the real world. Something or somebody who acts on your behalf. They're my agent. They're acting on my behalf. They're performing tasks or work for me. So there's a lot of examples. You might have a real estate agent who's helping you to buy a house, and there's all kinds of tasks and actions that that person takes on your behalf to help you to secure that end result, which is getting that house. And so this idea of agents is becoming predominant throughout all the AI discussions. And, everybody is creating agents. And so what's important to us is that we understand that when we create an agent, that might result in something that allows us to do digital tasks, digital work, digital labor. It's another new concept. And so how can we organize that digital labor piece with our human labor piece and combine them together? Well, that's where standard operating procedures comes into play. So we can create a standard operating procedure that talks about work and all the things that go along with that. And then we can marry up the digital work with the human employees and their work and create a kind of a cohesive experience. And, you'll see as we go through all the steps that being able to do that inside this central place and being able to use this information then to evaluate, what's the return on investment? What are the tasks that we want to automate? What are the things that we want to continue to do in a manual way? I mean, there's just all kinds of information and decisions that we have to make as we move forward with this investment, because a lot of this stuff can be expensive, and so we don't want to waste money. We want to invest our money wisely. Starting off selling accounting software and being CPA, we were always kind of financially oriented. We always wanted to make sure that the things we were doing made sense, and so we always measure things by ROI, return on investment. And so we do that inside of this application now too. We see it as a way to organize the work and evaluate how all those things come together in a productive, secure, and beneficial way. And that's another great thing about doing this inside an app like Salesforce. We get to leverage and take advantage of all the data that's here, but also all the other invested capital that we've made over the years to create a central place where users have roles and security and all those kinds of things. And you'll see as we go through some of these examples that standard operating procedures is also all about that. It's about organizing the work according to roles and responsibilities, and it's all about routing things electronically to get approvals and all the things that normally happen in that scenario. So you'll see at the top of the menu here we have all of those SOP objects at the beginning, and then last we have 3 topics: agents, topics, and actions. And those are things that are specific to Agentforce. Those are terms that Salesforce and Agentforce use to organize things. So the first thing is we have an agent. And so in this case, we created a new agent, SOP for Agentforce Agent. And what that allows us to do is that allows us to group together all of that information under this kind of heading. It's a service agent. It allows us to take the standard operating procedures for Agentforce, which is the custom agent designed to assist users in creating all this activity. Its job is to help customers and employees increase productivity and performance. So we're kind of defining for everyone what that agent is all about. So the first thing that you have to realize is that when you're using Agentforce, you're able to create these agents inside the Salesforce platform, and you're able to organize all that information around that. And so what we're doing is we're building that right into the SOP menu, because if you go through the steps, and there's quite a lot of information and steps that you have to go through to create new agents and tasks and topics and actions. And so it's a lot of learning to go on. But what we found is by creating this right inside the SOP menu, you can look at it individually and you can see what's going on inside of Salesforce for Agents, but you can also then combine it with the other things. So we can associate this agent with a particular SOP or with a particular step within his SOP, and we can leverage that shared information across all the platform to make sure that we've got the associations. We can quickly look at how this information is all coming together. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through and we're going to talk about what are some of the components of agents and how we can build those agents inside the system. Now, you don't necessarily need to build a custom app to create an agent. Agents can be created on their own and standalone, and that's typically the way that it happens. But what we're doing is we're marrying up the great features of the standard operating procedures with the great features of agents, and we're kind of making that connection together to allow us to evaluate and manage everything in a cohesive, comprehensive way. A good way to describe it is it gives us kind of a roadmap with all of our work and how we're going to utilize these tools over the long run to manage all that work.